Okay, so we've looked at the first half of the poem, and we've just briefly talked about how Robin initially felt ditched, let down, dumped by Batman. And we begin to piece together the reason why that was. And the reason probably why that was is that Batman met a woman. And Batman, it was a married woman. That caper, a bit of fun with a married woman, and taking her downtown on expenses in the motor. And then in the middle of the poem, something else happens. We have another revelation. And it's told in the language of Batman and Robin. And we've noticed that already in the poem. We'll talk more about that in another screencast. But here we get Holy Robin Redbreast, nest egg shocker, holy roll me over in the clover. So Robin Redbreast, nest egg shocker sounds to me like Robin has come into some money. And a nest egg is something that someone has kept by, someone has saved all their life, and that's often passed on at someone's death, so like an inheritance. So it sounds to me like Robin has come into some money. We don't know from who, we don't know how, but it's a shocker to him because he's managed to, he's finally independent, financially independent. And roll me over in the clover, again that means clover can be another word for money. So, you know, being in the clover can often mean being quite wealthy. So all of a sudden in those two lines in the middle of the poem we learn that Robin has come into money. And then he changes. Listen to how the tone changes in the poem. I'm not playing ball boy any longer, Batman. You know, I'm not playing your game anymore. Ball boy meaning the assistant, the sidekick. I've doffed the off-the-shoulder Sherwood Forest Green and Scarlet number. I've got rid of my rather camp outfit that you made me wear. For a pair of jeans and a crew-neck jumper, there's something quite kind of sort of beat poet, quite hip about that. You can imagine Robin taking that rather camp outfit off and putting on this kind of fairly cool pair of jeans and a crew-neck jumper. You need to remember Batman, the original Batman, was very much a product of the 1960s and 1970s, and so you can imagine this rather naff-looking Robin suddenly becoming this rather hip black polo neck type character. And he then carries on. I'm taller, harder, stronger, older, and the repetition of the sound there, that what we call assonance, A-S-S-O-N-A-N-C-E. Assonance is the repetition of vowel sounds, harder, taller, harder, stronger, older, and it kind of repeats how he's feeling, that he's feeling pretty tough now. And then in the last quarter of the poem, we go back to Batman. Batman, it makes a marvellous picture. You without a shadow, stewing over chicken giblets in the pressure cooker next to nothing in the walk-in larder, punching your palm of your hand all winter. It's a very clever image. It's a very powerful image of a man who has nothing left, a man without a shadow, someone who is no longer has a personality, no longer has an identity. Stewing chicken giblets in the pressure cooker. It's a rather grotesque image. The giblets are the kind of the innards of the chicken. Probably maybe stewing them because he just has no money. And we learn then he's got next to nothing in his larder. And the larder is in an old house was where they stored food. It was in the days before fridges. It was a cold kind of cupboard in the room that you stored food. A lot of houses still have them. So this marvellous picture that Robin paints is of a man who has no identity any longer. He's no longer Batman. He's just this man without a shadow. And he's punching the palm of his hand all winter, maybe with anger, maybe with cold. So we've got this tall, hard, lean, strong man in Robin who's now got the money, his inherited money. And he's contrasted with Batman, who's this rather weak, rather pathetic figure. So what we see in this poem, and at the end, you baby, now I'm the real boy wonder. You know, now who's the one in charge now, Batman? He's saying, you know, who's the man now? Who's the one with the power? Who's the one with the influence? So, in summary, we get the impression of a man who's grown up on the surface, and who has moved away, and who has got over the initial feeling of hurt at being ditched, dumped by Batman, and who's now a tough older man, and who looks at Batman as rather a pathetic figure, the shadow of a man that he used to be.